Hi guys, welcome back to TOEFL with Juva. Today we talk about 3 question types that you are asked in TOEFL Reading, and I show you strategies on how to solve them. We talk about function questions, paraphrasing questions and inference questions. By the way, if you want to get more tips for the TOEFL and download templates, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video. Let's get started. Let's start with function questions. What do function questions look like? There are 2 types of function questions. Let's start with the first type. For example, a function question may look like this. Why does the author discuss something? So if you get such a question, you have to figure out what the function of this discussion is. For example, the author may discuss something in order to point something out, or in order to show that there are arguments and counter-arguments for something. The second function question type can look like this. How does the author show something? And then you are given several answer choices. For example, by emphasizing something or by providing examples. So the function is given in the question and you have to figure out which of the answer choices has this function. In a sense, if you compare that with the first type, you have to think the other way around. Which strategy can you use in order to answer function questions correctly? Let's start with the first type. Imagine that you get this question. Why does the author discuss something? What you have to do is you go to the relevant part of the passage and you read it more closely. Have a look at this part of the passage where the author discusses something, and also have a look at the context and ask yourself, in this context, why does the author discuss this? This will help you figure out the correct answer. Let's have a look at the strategy for type 2. The first thing you have to do is to eliminate wrong answers, because this will make it a lot easier for you to find the correct answer. Usually, some of the answer choices that are given do not appear at all in the passage. And then you can eliminate them immediately. What you have to do is you go to the first answer choice, you read it, and then you go to the relevant part of the passage and you check, does this answer appear in the passage? For example, if the question is, how does the author show something? And the answers are by emphasizing something and by providing examples. You go to the passage and you look, okay, does the author emphasize something in the passage? Does the author provide examples in the passage? If he doesn't do that, if he doesn't provide any examples, or if he doesn't emphasize anything, the answer is wrong because it does not appear in the passage. And this means that you can eliminate this answer immediately. The answer is out. Once you have done that, you are left with the answers that appear in the passage. Now you have to read the part of the passage where these answers appear very closely. And you always ask yourself, does the author do this in order to show that? For example, imagine the author provides examples. So you go to this passage and you ask yourself, okay, does the author provide these examples in order to show that? If you ask yourself these questions, it will be a lot easier for you to figure out the correct answer. Let's go on with paraphrasing questions. For example, paraphrasing questions can look like this. Which of the following best expresses the information that is given in the highlighted sentence? So there is a sentence taken from the passage. This sentence is highlighted. And you are given several answer choices. And now the question asks you, which of these answer choices best expresses the information that is given in the highlighted sentence? The answer choices are paraphrased, which means that the information is stated in different words. That's why these questions are called paraphrasing questions. Now let's have a look at the strategy that you can use in order to solve paraphrasing questions. The first thing you have to do is you go to the first answer choice and you read it very closely. And guys, I really mean it, especially in paraphrasing questions. Reading the answer choices very closely is really important. It's really so important, because usually there are traps in the answers. Usually some of the wrong answers seem to express the information given in the sentence, in the passage, but they don't do it because the meaning is changed very slightly. And this is not obvious at first sight. So you need to read the answer choices very closely in order to find out whether the meaning is changed in some way. So you go to the first answer choice, you have a look at the original sentence and you ask yourself, does the answer choice express the same meaning as the highlighted sentence? If it does not, you can eliminate it immediately. The answer is out and you go on. If it does, you go on with the next answer and you check whether this answer may express the meaning of the highlighted sentence more accurately than the other answer. Again, if the answer changes the meaning of the original sentence, the answer is out. If it does not, you compare the answers and you ask yourself which of these answers comes closest to what is stated in the highlighted sentence. Let's go on with the third question type, inference questions. For example, inference questions can look like this. What does the author imply about something? Or what can be inferred about something? So the question asks you, what is the idea behind what the writer states? The idea is not directly stated in the passage. You have to derive it from what the writer says. Let's have a look at the strategy that you can use to solve inference questions. There are 2 steps that you need to do in order to get to the correct answer. The first step is you have to think about the context. Ask yourself, what is the general idea of the passage? What does the writer want to say with this passage? If you do that, you know what the writer wants to convey with this passage. So why he writes this passage. Once you know that, you have to go for the second step. And the second step is that you put yourself in the position of the writer. And you ask yourself, if I were the writer, why would I say that? This strategy is extremely powerful because if you follow this strategy, you know 2 things that will lead you to the correct answer. The first thing you know is why the writer writes this passage. He writes it to convey something. And then you put yourself in the shoes of the writer and you have a look at the passage and you see something the writer says. You look at the matter from his perspective and you ask yourself, okay, if I were the writer, why would I say that? Which message do I want to convey? And this will make it a lot easier for you to figure out the correct answer. That's it. This is how you solve function questions, paraphrasing questions, and inference questions. I hope this video was helpful to you guys. If you want to know more about other question types in TOEFL reading, have a look at my videos about that. Check out that one, for example. And if you have any questions or a video wish, Put that in the comments below. I love to hear about that. And if you want to get more tips for the TOEFL and download templates, subscribe to this channel so that you don't miss the next video. I love to see you here next time. Bye bye!